What I'm about to say is not me shitting on the owner, it's me absolutely shitting on the breeder. Just past two ladies, they were talking about their dogs, and this one lady was describing her puggle to the other as it's just like a pug but healthier. And here's the thing, no, a puggle is not just like a pug but healthier, because a puggle is a mix of a pug and a beagle. A pug is a toy companion breed, a beagle is a scent hound. Two very different dogs. Genetics don't work as, oh, it's just this dog but healthier. When you're breeding those two dogs, you don't get to tell the genes, hey, we just want the longer neck and longer muzzle of the beagle, and everything else you can just keep pug. That's the problem with these unethical mixed breed breeders, is they say these crazy lies. Like, Bernedoodles are not just Bernese mountain dogs that shed less. They do not just have the placid temperament of a Berner, but shed less, because they have poodle in them. And poodles are high energy, high intelligence working dogs. So it's really a gamble as far as what you get with the temperament. And somebody who's buying a Bernedoodle because they want the placid temperament of a Bernese mountain dog that ends up with a puppy that happen to have more poodle temperament thrown into them is not set up for success. And that is completely unethical to sell them under the guise of being like Bernese mountain dogs, but they shed less. Not to mention the health implications. You're breeding a heavy boned dog with a dog that is a lot more light boned and slender. So you're setting the dog up for orthopedic issues. And then when you get into other types of designer mixes such as Aussie Doodles, you're taking a herding breed and mixing it with a sporting retriever breed. So now you're mixing drives, and that causes different types of temperament issues and temperament unpredictability. Another popular argument made by these breeders is the mixes are healthier, and that honestly just makes no fucking sense. You're saying, again, let's use a Bernedoodle. Bernese mountain dogs are prone to hip dysplasia. You're breeding that to a poodle, also prone to hip dysplasia, or the smaller poodles prone to patella issues. So you're breeding two dogs that are both prone to hip dysplasia. How does that cancel out hip dysplasia? Especially when you're breeding two low quality specimens of those breeds, because no reputable breeder of those purebred dogs would allow them to be crossed. So you're actually upping your chances of producing dogs with hip dysplasia, because things like hip dysplasia are genetic, but they're not genetic like dominant recessive. They're genetic as they have poor genes that express poor structure that result in things like hip dysplasia. So there's a lot of lies. There's just a lot of lies that go on, and it really makes me angry to see well-intentioned people get scammed by these breeders. And this is why a lot of people have issues with the really hardcore adopt, don't shop people, because they use things like mixed breeds are healthier to try to push their adopt, don't shop narrative. And that really makes no sense, because any dog can bring a health issue to the table. A lot of health issues, you don't need two recessive genes to be paired to express that. Not all health issues work in that way. So taking two random dogs with random unknown health histories and putting them together does not make healthier dogs. I mean, I wish it did. That'd be a cool magic trick, but it's exactly that. It would be a magic trick. You get healthier dogs by purposefully and selectively breeding dogs together that will improve on the previous generation. And when people say, how do you improve on the previous generation in a purebred dog? They're all the same. They're not all the same. And the cool thing about purebred dogs is their lineage is tracked. That's, one of the reasons the OFA exists. So you can use that known lineage to breed away from known issues or commonalities in dogs. And you see it in many, many breeds that breeders get together and they breed out and they breed away from negative things happening in the breed. And then it also works in the reverse. You can breed dogs together to make them better, to improve on the breed in the next generation. When you breed dogs that have no known health history, you don't know what is in their past that you could be bringing into the next generation. Not all things are apparent on the surface. It's really interesting stuff, and this is not to shit on mixed breeds. I love a good shelter dog, don't get me wrong. Don't just listen to this and go, okay, I'm just going to go get a purebred golden retriever instead of a doodle. You need to get a well-bred golden retriever, because backyard, shitty, unethical breeders of golden retrievers are not much better. They're not better than doodle breeders, because they're not improving on the previous generation of golden retrievers. They're just making random goldens that don't add anything to the breed and actually detract from the breed, adding more things like hip dysplasia to the breed. So get your shelter pup and enjoy the mysteries that may come with that shelter pup, or get a very well-bred, purebred dog. My advice is don't mix and mingle in the middle and support those unethical breeders, not just because they do unethical stuff, but because I want people to be set up for success with their dogs. I got completely off topic. The whole point of that rant is you don't get healthier pugs by breeding them to beagles. You get healthier pugs by breeding pugs together that both have good structure and good BOAS scores. Well-bred pugs don't have breathing problems. Same with Boston Terriers. A well-bred Boston Terrier is a highly athletic dog. I know French Bulldogs who are competing in dock diving at Westminster this year because they are that good at dock diving. Okay? The other issue is people get dogs like pugs and they let them get obese. Any obese dog is going to have breathing and movement issues. If I see one more pug owner laughing about their pug being a loaf of bread, I'm gonna lose it.